Guys, welcome to my channel. We are reading Emily Winsnap and the Ship of Lost Souls by Liz Kessler. We are on chapter 20, and here we go. Time went up 0000. I watched from inside the cabin. The porthole disappeared, and in its place was a myriad of colors. It looked as if the glass had splintered into a million pieces, and each piece was held up to the sun. Bright colors burned through it so hard I had to close my eyes against the glare. The cabin shook. It felt as if I were in a rocket about to launch, or in the center of an earthquake. I curled into a ball and felt myself spinning through the water as waves after wave of energy exploded and crackled and burned all around me. Lowena and the baby, they were right in the heart of the explosions. How could they survive? I opened my eyes and I squinted into the light. I could still see them, the tips of their tails disappearing into the maelstrom, spinning in circles, caught up in the blazing explosion of the portal. I forced my eyes to stay open despite the burning of the lights. I could still see something moving inside the lights. Was that a tail? Were they okay? When did it end? Come on, get through. I stared at the retreating dot of Lowena's tail for another minute, and then it stopped, just like that. A loud whoosh, a final burst of light, a fizzing of energy, and the portal closed like an elevator door. I was alone. Reeling and shaking, I swam across to the porthole. It was completely intact. There was no sign that anything strange has been going on at all. Outside, there was only the darkness of the ocean, and that wasn't all. I listened hard, and I could just hear it. A dunk, dunk, dunk of the ship's engine. Were we moving? Were we leaving Atlantis? I just hoped and prayed with every bit of me that Lowena and her baby girl were too. The trouble started almost immediately. I had left Lowena's cabin and was in the corridor when the ship lurched violently to one side. Water rushed over me, and I soon found myself swimming through what felt like a thundering rolling wave. Somehow I made it to the end of the corridor. I gripped the handrail at the bottom of the staircase, holding on with both hands as my body was hurled from side to side, water swooshing around me. I climbed up a couple of steps out the water, and my tail threshed violently as it spun and tingled. The final turned back into my legs. Through the windows at the side of the ship, I could see the sky one minute, the sea the next. It felt as if there were giants on either side of us, rocking the boat violently like a pair of school bullies, slamming a seesaw up and down while the kids in the middle clung on for dear life. Not just that, but the light was constantly shifting. One moment it was light, bright sunlight, the next the sky filled with black clouds, and the sea turned dark. It was as if night and day, sunshine and storm, hope and betrayal were all mixed in together. I could see someone further up the staircase, hanging on to the handrail. It was a white-haired lady, Ruth. "Emily," she screamed. "Are you okay?" "I'm fine," I yelled back. "What's happening?" "I think it's the resistance that Lowena mentioned. I'm sure we'll be through it soon. Just stay calm and hold on tight." I tried to do what she said. I held on as tightly as I could, closing my eyes, praying as I prayed, the ship continued to rock and reel and thrown us this way and that, like an angry child with a toy it no longer wanted. "Emily!" Someone was shaking me. I clutched the rail even more tightly. No, don't. "Emily, look." I opened my eyes. Ruth was smiling at me. She pointed to the window. I moved my head to see where she was pointing. Seawater, just the ocean. No mountainous waves. No storms. I looked back at Ruth. We made it, I whispered. We got away. She reached out to help me up. Thanks to you, we did, she said. We're heading home. I clung to Ruth's arm as we climbed up to the top deck together. I could see the group of people huddled together inside the cabin of the middle of the deck. We made our way over to them. Sally came running out. Emily, Ruth! She pulled us into the huddle. Are you okay? She asked softly. She's fine, Ruth answered for me. Are Rowena and the baby all right? Another woman asked. Hey, hey! Tony waved his arms in a slow down kind of way. Give the child a chance to answer. I looked around at them, every eye on me. I'm okay, I said, but I don't know about Rowena and the baby. They disappeared into the portal. They got off the ship. That's why we're moving. As if in reply, the ship took a sudden lurch to the left, and I fell against Ruth. We'd escaped the storm, but there were still heavy seas out there. I straightened myself up. I can't say for sure what happened after that. I went on. I have no idea if they've got home or not. The portal is vicious. I shuddered as I recalled my own experience of going through it and thought of Lowena's retreating body disappearing into the unknown. It's like a black hole that could swallow you up without a trace, I muttered. I looked around at the others suddenly, and yes, perhaps a bit belatedly, realizing that maybe they wanted to hear good news, not my inner fears. But look, I'm sure they'll be okay, I added quickly. Ruth smiled at me. There's nothing we can do now. We're on our way home, and whatever else happens, we will always be grateful to them and to you for that. Hear, hear, her husband said. The others nodded. A couple of them even clapped. Sally smiled at me. Well done, Emily. You're brave, brave girl. I tried to smile back, but as the ship creaked and thumped and banged, and as we continued our veer from side to side and lurking up and down, as our journey still felt long and hard and dangerous, I couldn't help wonder where on earth she'd gotten the idea that I was anything other than a scared child who wanted to go home. Things were starting to change. The sea was growing rougher. Rowena had warned us this would happen. It was the second wave of resistance. It meant we were nearing the end of our journey. We were approaching the point where the earthquake had swallowed the ship. Rowena had given the captain everything he needed to get through, every coordinate, every instruction, but without a waymarker to guide us home, we need one more ingredient, luck. The snippet of brightness were giving way to black clouds. The sea was developing enormous waves, peaking like mountains, white water streaming across their tops like snow. Up the mountains we climbed, gripping on one another for dear life. Then we teetered on the kiss of the wave, like that moment at the top of the roller coaster when you're about to leave your stomach behind. And down we crashed, over and over, clambering dangerously up, crashing furiously down. Water spilled over the deck of every side. Chairs that hadn't been bolted down slid violently across the wet deck, over the side and out to sea. The sky collapsed and roared. The raging thunderstorm followed our every move, followed us inside itself as it lifted us up, hurled us down, screaming its violent anger at us. I had never been so close to a thunderstorm before. I had never seen one as wild as this, not even on Neptune's angriest day. On and on it went, unrelentingly in its rage. One thought kept repeating over and over in my mind. After everything we've been through, we were going to be hurled from our boat out here, fail to the last hurdle. It was the last thought in my mind as another wave struck us, and I fell to the deck. Was it the last thought I would ever have? I must have blacked out. I thought we all did, because next thing I knew, we were all opening our eyes, looking around at one another and picking ourselves up. Was it over? Had we come through it? Were we alive? My legs felt wobbly and I stood up. Every limb felt bruised. Every muscle ached, but I didn't care about that. Look, one of the men was pointing out to sea. A few of the others had already run to the side of the ship. As I went over to join them, I realized two things. One thing, the ship was completely level. We were sailing on the calmest sea I had ever seen. You'd hardly even know we were moving. Thing two, up ahead and a little to the right, I could see island. Not just any island, 5 bays. Wow! Alright, that is the end of chapter 20, guys. I will see you guys in chapter 21.